Imagine this, a world where everyone rises with the sun, greets the dawn with a smile, and tackles the day with boundless energy. It sounds idyllic, doesn't it? But here's the catch. That's not the reality for everyone. In fact, far from it. We're all wired differently when it comes to sleep. Some of us are early birds, chirping away happily at the crack of dawn, while others are night owls, burning the midnight oil long after the rest of the world has gone to bed. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. Let's talk about sleep chronotypes. Ever heard of them? Essentially, they're like your body's internal clock, dictating when you feel most alert and productive throughout the day. Now, here's the kicker. Your chronotype is mainly determined by genetics, not by choice. That's right. You can thank your DNA for those early morning wake-up calls or those late-night bursts of creativity. So, what happens when society doesn't quite align with your natural rhythm? Well, that's where things can get tricky. See, our world tends to favor the early risers. Most jobs start bright and early. Schools kick off at the crack of dawn. You get the picture. But what about those night owls who struggle to function before noon? They're left bleary-eyed and groggy, fighting against their own biology just to keep up. But here's the thing. Waking up early doesn't magically give you more time in the day. Sure, you might catch the worm, but at what cost? Sacrificing precious sleep for the sake of an early start can wreak havoc on your productivity and your health. Trust me, I've been there. Burning the candle at both ends might make you feel like a productivity powerhouse at first, but eventually, it catches up with you. And let me tell you, the consequences aren't pretty. We need to prioritize sleep, folks. It's not just a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, we're setting ourselves up for a whole host of problems, both physical and psychological. Think fatigue, irritability, lack of focus, the list goes on. So, how do we avoid this sleep-deprived nightmare? By listening to our bodies and giving them the rest they crave. Now, here's where things get interesting. Productivity isn't just about waking up early. Oh no, it's so much more than that. Night owls can be just as productive as their early bird counterparts, if not more so, as long as they manage their time effectively and play to their strengths. Take me, for example. I used to drag myself out of bed at the crack of dawn, bleary-eyed and caffeine-dependent. But you know what? I was miserable. It wasn't until I embraced my night owl tendencies that I truly started to thrive. Suddenly, those late-night brainstorming sessions weren't a burden. They were a blessing. But here's the kicker. We need to stop judging others based on their wake-up times. Just because someone sleeps until noon doesn't make them lazy, and just because someone rises with the sun doesn't make them a productivity guru. We're all different, and that's what makes life interesting. What matters is that we prioritize our health and well-being, whatever that looks like for each of us individually. So, here's to understanding our own unique sleep patterns, to prioritizing rest, and to embracing our natural rhythms. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, living our best lives, one good night's sleep at a time. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with friends to support our channel.